I was thinking we could go to a barbecue, but then later you could change your mind and send your friend. That part of the story was a little confusing. What was the point of this? I did Google bungalow. I mean, I guess once I read it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But I was thinking cabin. All right.
I mean, basically, that seems what it basically is.
Yeah, except for these are some pretty big bungalows.
It was a basement too? But whatever.
We will talk about the descriptions and the many buildings. Mm-hmm. Why are there so many?
And several hotels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we're at this lake, and then we're at that lake, and then we're stuck getting from this lake to that lake. Mm-hmm. We're real confusing.
Welcome to the Drew Crew. This is a podcast all about the Nancy Drew books, where we solve mysteries with inconsistencies. That's our tagline.
Mysteries with inconsistencies.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
So my name is Peter. I'm a librarian.
My name is Kelly. I'm a librarian.
Today we're covering the Bungalow mystery.
Book number 3.
And so, yeah, you read both versions of this.
I did. I read the original and the revised. Mm-hmm. So I will give you the original version after.
Sure. Yeah. I think we did that last time too.
Yeah, I think that works well to kind of go back and be like, here's what's different.
I originally had it checked out, and then I had to return it because you put a hold on it. And then you were like trying to be accommodating and be like, oh, I can read it and then return it to you later. And then I said, nah, I'm not going to actually read this. So,
which was fine.
You're better off having it.
It took me a while. It just wasn't what I was picking up. I think I've decided in some instances I do like the original better.
You've said that.
Nancy's more spunky. Mm-hmm. She doesn't care about parties, dates, barbecues. There's no mention of what she's wearing, which happens quite a lot in the revised edition. This is the outfit she chose to wear. Mm-hmm. And here's the meal in detail.
Or that she made.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But they don't cover that at all in the original.
Okay.
All action all the time.
I guess before we get into that, I finally returned grommets to you. You had a grommet set. I finally returned it to you.
Yes.
You were nice enough to loan it out. The reason I had to borrow your grommets and like the specific like tool to put the grommets into clothing is because I had to make pants for my dog.
Lace-up pants,
yes.
Specifically. How's your dog doing?
Doing much better. So a couple months ago, he tore his ACL.
As you want to do.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we were worried he wouldn't get picked up by any of the NFL teams.
Poor puppy.
Yeah. We had to buy like a special suit for him, basically, because dogs will usually, if they tear the ACL, they'll use this one leg.
Okay.
And they're more likely to burn out their other leg than to and tear their ACL in the other leg too.
Oh, you don't want that.
Basically, we got him special pants that have knee pads in them. But our dog is kind of in between sizes, so I need to make a belt for him for his special pants.
These are the things we do for our pets.
Yes. So then we ended up actually getting him like a better system, a better special pants system. Okay. He only really needs it at the dog park when he's running around.
Sure.
For walks.
Well, it's for sports.
Exactly. For sports. Exactly. So he really only needs it at the dog park. And so I took him to the dog park last week with his special pants. And the worst part about the dog park is that you always have to talk about your dog.
Sure.
I don't want to talk about my dog to strangers.
You have to make friends.
Yes, I don't want to do that. And so a lady came up to me and she was like, oh, I really like the leotard on your dog.
It's cute. It's very cute.
I was like, oh, no, it's like it's special pants.
But maybe you should give him a tutu
for
the next time. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad to hear that he's getting better.
So, yeah, thank you for loaning me your grommets.
Sure.
That's all I'm trying to say.
No problem.
That's what friends are for.
Yeah, exactly. Friends with sewing supplies.
Yes. Because you do a lot of sewing, right? Or knitting?
I try to.
Okay.
Knitting and sewing.
Okay.
Try to do a bit of each.
You've made your own Halloween costumes.
I have, yes. And on the chair behind you is my new work bag. It kind of doubles as a Mary Poppins bag, but I made that myself.
Oh, fun.
So, yes. Try to do some sewing.
I just put all of my recording equipment over it. I didn't even look at it.
It's sturdy material, so it's okay. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
How about let's kick off this book?
Let's kick off this book.
Let's cook off this book.
Let's cook off this book.
With everyone's favorite segment, which I like to call Drew Conclusions.
Yes.
And so this is where after just reading 2 chapters, I try to guess what the mystery is and the answer to the mystery.
So I'm curious this time how you'll do. I think the last 2, if you didn't listen, the last 2 is The Secret of the Old Clock and The Hidden Staircase, which in the title kind of gives away what this is. This one, The Bungalow Mystery, seems a little vaguer. So I'm curious where you went with this.
Well, let me say what it is first, and then I'll tell you how I got to that.
Okay.
The stranger will not be Laura's guardian. The Aborns are in the bungalow? ?
That's not bad.
And so I was pretty close. And so, when I read the title, I was like, oh, this is going to be a little bit harder to guess. And then what I did was I turned to the front page, and there is a picture of Mr. Aborn tied to a bench. And it says, Mr. Aborn was in the basement.
The man chained to the bench was Jacob Aborn.
And so I was like,
I don't
Carolyn
even know
Keene,
if I really looked at this.
Because she basically, with this picture, she basically tells you what the answer to the mystery right away.
That is very true. And maybe some of that is so that, as a young child, you're not too scared or startled by the by the story.
Also,
that feels like a publisher's choice.
Sure, I understand.
But it doesn't mean that it's a good choice.
Right. I think you should.
It is interesting, though. I didn't even notice that.
Oh, okay.
It didn't click with me. I was just like, drawing. That's kind of part of the charm of these.
Oh, sure.
Some of the pencil sketches or whatever throughout, but that is really interesting. I didn't even see that.
But this is my complaint with this book to begin with, is that you should kind of just trust your audience into kind of being able to figure it. Even if they're kids, they should be able to figure it out. More or less, trust them that they'll be able to figure it out.
Right. As we were reading these, I'm like, there's really never much of an actual mystery happening, and you can pretty much figure it out.
Well, I think also, because you told me about the originals, and the originals almost feel like noir for kids.
Yeah.
And noir there's mystery elements, but noir is more about thriller and like twists and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so,
like, what's going to happen next?
Yes.
Maybe there's a little suspense happening,
and it's gritty.
But not like a puzzle situation happening. Yeah.
Then the reelers is take out all that out, but they don't add in mystery. So you're kind of left with kind of nothing. You're left with not a very good mystery.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I guess we can get started. So we start in media res.
Media res?
Yes. Media res means that the action is already starting.
Oh, yes. And that's almost always how these go, don't they?
This one especially, it seems.
They're right out there. Nancy.
So her and Helen from the second book.
Correct.
They are in the middle of a storm. They're on this motorboat.
On a lake.
On a lake, yes.
Yes. Important detail.
I looked it up later, like they're in the Midwest. Which I never realized because I thought it was like on like they were coasties.
No, like I think, you kind of gather clues over time where River Heights is because that's where she lives. But it's always within pretty close distance of Chicago.
Yes. And he goes to Cincinnati in this one, Mr. Drew.
Yeah, Cincinnati. I think St. Louis is mentioned maybe.
That I don't remember.
I don't remember. But yeah, it is like very much Midwest or somewhere.
When I read this, I thought they were like on the ocean or something. But then I looked up, I was like, oh, it's the Midwest. They're like just like on some lake.
No, they're on a lake. I think in this version, because it's actually different. I think they were on the same lake they were on in the first book when they go to the camp at Moon Lake.
Oh, okay.
In the original, but this, they changed it. They said Twin Lakes.
I see. Okay. Oh, yes. So
there's a lot of mention of lakes in this specific book, so it is a little confusing to keep track of where we are.
There's multiple lakes. There's multiple hotels.
There's multiple bungalows. It's hard to keep track of. Yeah.
Their motorboat is it starts to take on water
because there's a storm that comes up.
So Helen is bailing out while Nancy Drew is kind of starting to steer. Then a big wave comes and Nancy kind of tries to gun it and like go into the wave.
Right. And then the boat capsizes. Correct? And they both end up in the water. And Helen is not a good swimmer.
Yes.
But of course Nancy is because
Nancy
is good at everything.
Nancy Drew saves Helen, kind of pulls her out, and is able to get some like debris, driftwood, put her on there and like swim to what she thinks is the shore. Doesn't think she's going to make it. I think she's calling out for help.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden there's a rowboat comes by.
Yes.
And it is Laura Pendleton, who rescues them basically. She gets them into her boat. Yes. Really quick though. So Nancy gets into the boat. Helen isn't able to. The rescuer says, "Can you climb on board? I'll balance the boat while you get in." Nancy explained about the submerged motorboat and Helen's useless arms. Because I think like her arms were numb either because she was like
tired.
Because she was tired. But I like
her useless arms. I
like the descriptive of useless arms, which is like that's my arms too. Just kind of noodle arms.
She's not going to be able to help you over here.
So yeah, Laura gets him on board.
Yes.
Rows him to safety. They're all wet, tired, cold. Because there's still a storm going on.
Right.
And so they break in.
Yes, they come across a bungalow. Shocking.
Yes.
Nobody seems to be home. People probably won't care because we need help here.
Yes.
So they break in to get warm.
Yeah, they find a window that's open, and so they kind of scurry through, and they get some hot chocolate. Nancy rationalizes this as, it's an emergency, obviously. And then so Laura kind of starts to tell her backstory, which again is another thing of these books is everyone loves to...
Right. They just spill their whole life story and woes to Nancy within minutes of meeting her. So she's an orphan.
Yes.
Her mother just recently passed away. Her father died when she was younger.
And Nancy they're able to bond over that a little bit because Nancy's mom died when she was 3.
Yes. She's supposed to be meeting her new guardians soon.
Mr. and Mrs. Aborn?
Aborn. Yes. Jacob Aborn and his wife, Marion.
Oh, I missed that.
I don't know. But Jacob Aborn is the husband. Yes. So she's really nervous about this. Nancy and Helen kind of are like, it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. The storm passes and they leave, correct? Does that sound right?
Yeah, I mean... Basically.
They have some hot chocolate. They use blankets that they find, and then they move on.
Yeah, Nancy writes a note, though, that says, like, hey, thanks for letting us crash here, basically.
Right, yes.
I think she does, she meets a police officer later, kind of explains that, hey, we broke into this place, but...
Right.
It's cool.
Yes.
Be cool about this.
And they always are.
Yes.
Yeah.
They meet up with Laura. I think they stay the night at this hotel. Yeah. Because Laura's going to meet up with her her new guardian at this hotel. So I think they meet up at this hotel.
Yes. And when they go to the hotel, so they part ways with Laura, correct? They go to their hotel or her hotel. I don't remember where. There's a lot of hotels. So they go to a hotel. This was the thing that I thought was most interesting here at this point. I think they had rented the boat from the hotel. And when they get back to the hotel, she's explaining to the guy, I'm really sorry your boat sank. Yes. He goes, it's no big deal. We have insurance.
It was insured.
I'm like, what? He was just like, whatever. The boat's gone. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
But also, you drove it during a storm. Like, I don't know. Like, is an insurance company gonna...
There was a lot of just like, you're cool. I was quite shocked by that.
Yes.
But I shouldn't have been.
Because it always works out.
It always works out. So when they're at the hotel... A lady comes storming in. She's all flustered.
Because her tire on her car got a flat.
Yes.
And so, she had to walk all the way to the hotel. And I think her heel broke too.
Yes.
And so she's all angry about that. And then so Nancy's advice to her is like, hey, why don't you call somebody to fix it? And this woman's like, oh, great idea, sarcastically. And Helen's like, oh, well, that person's just mean. But also I would say that too. Like, of course I had a bad day.
That. Yes.
Of course I know to do that.
Exactly.
To call somebody.
I did write down her description because of course the description of each person means something in these books. She's short, thin, mud splattered, lost a heel of a shoe, and she has her hair clinging to her face in an unbecoming fashion.
But thought she had a day. Like,
I know, that's
leave
what
her
I
alone.
thought. Like, but also very rude, very rude. But the hair on her face in an unbecoming fashion makes it sound as though she could help that. You know, like this right there, the hair on your face is an indicator of your bad character.
Exactly.
According to Nancy Drew.
So Nancy's advice is to, hey, call somebody to fix it. But then I also thought, hey, Nancy, didn't you fix a tire once? In the first book, didn't you fix a tire?
Yeah.
So how come she couldn't do it?
I can't help you. Not today. Anyway, so that lady leaves.
Yes.
Very, very rudely.
I think it's Helen and Nancy. They get lunch together. Helen's like, hey, my aunt's coming down to help me with the dress, I think for the wedding.
Right.
Because her wedding's coming up.
There was a point, and maybe this was when they were in the bungalow, and Laura tells her tale of woe. Helen explains about her wedding, and she names the guy she's marrying, and
it's the same
thought,
guy.
Laura doesn't know who this is. I don't know why you're explaining this. There was a lot of explanation of that in there.
And again, he's still in Europe, and
right. Right. Nancy Price still hasn't met him. I don't know.
But it's basically, it's an explanation for why, like, Helen isn't going to be in this book anymore. She's like,
yes,
she's going to get married
there, and now she's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then they meet up with Laura. Laura basically says, hey, my guardian came by. She seems kind of out of sorts. And then Nancy puts it together like, oh, your guardian is the mean lady.
Yes, they realize that she's the mean lady.
Then we get to the third chapter, and they meet another friend who doesn't really play into the plot at all. Oh, they play tennis together. Laura and Nancy are doubles partners. They bond over that. And then all of a sudden, they say, hey, why don't we drive back to the bungalow?
Yes.
Just because.
Well, we want to thank them in case they might be there.
Right.
Which seems odd. You did leave a note thanking them or telling them.
Right.
So I don't know why you would drive back. But they decided to drive back anyway. And then they see a foreign car. There's always a lot of mention of it being a foreign car. I don't know what.
And it kind of cuts them off on the road.
Yes.
And it goes into the bungalow, or it goes driving away. Yes, leaving away.
It was leaving the bungalow.
This is where then they go back. I think Laura officially meets Mrs. Aborn then.
Well, and then at some point, I don't remember if this is right here, but she said that Mrs. Aborn called her mother Mary, but her name is Marie.
Yes.
And I wrote down, it's a clue.
But not really, because they're kind of the same name.
I guess. But if this is supposed to be a person that, like,
you knew,
and you're such good friends that you've entrusted your daughter into her, like, you should know each other's names. Right.
Well, it's a clue, but it's circumstantial at best.
Right. Exactly. But, in these books, it's all clues. So then the group meets Mrs. Aborn, and she seems nicer now. She's making an effort to be pleasant.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I think Mr. Aborn does come by.
Yes. Stocky, well-built, early 50s, shifty eyes. That's the giveaway right there. The shifty eyes.
So and then they all meet up. Mr. Aborn is talking about the girls and calls them perfect bricks. Do you remember that part?
Oh, I did not. I don't remember that.
Calls them perfect bricks. But I'd look up, like, brick means you're solid. Oh. It's like slang back in the day.
Yes.
I thought that was funny. But there's also, I wanted to bring up the parts. Okay. Yeah, so Mr. Aborn calls them perfect bricks. He extended a hand first to Nancy, then to Helen. The reason I'm late in getting Laura is that I want everything to be perfect for her arrival at our Melrose Lake house.
Okay.
Nancy was sure that Mrs. Alborn recognized the callers and was embarrassed to admit it. They said nothing. There was an awkward silence till Laura said, well, let's all sit down. I thought that part was really funny. It's just like, oh, weird. And then so they just sit in silence.
Yes.
That seems like a Peter meeting where it's just like, I don't know what to say.
We're just going to sit
I don't know what to do
now
with my hands right now.
Oh my gosh.
they ended up taking Laura then back to their house. Helen says, hey, I recognize that guy. That's the guy who was in the foreign car.
Yes, that almost ran us off the road.
But then I thought, why is Helen deciphering these clues? Like, why is Helen so observant?
I don't, yeah.
Shouldn't it be Nancy that's doing this? It seems like
it should be Nancy that's observant.
Yes.
But she might just be in Nancy's presence. She can decipher these
That's
things.
basically what she says.
Yes.
That's her rationale for it. Is that, oh, you're rubbing off on me now.
Right.
But only so much, because I'm about to get married and then not only bounce from the story, but also bounce from the series completely.
Yeah, she's going to disappear within the next 3 books, I think. So they must leave then, because Nancy's going to go home because she has found out that Hannah has sprained her ankle. Is that right?
Yes.
And so they part ways, her and Helen.
And Helen, like I said, Helen is getting ready for her wedding and her aunt's coming down and all that.
You can forget about her. So on her way home, Nancy runs into a storm. And there's a road that's out that she would have normally taken.
And that's going to play into the book later.
Yes. So the road's out. She takes a detour. There's a storm. And then a tree is down.
Yes. So she's going to try to move the tree by herself.
Right. And she says, I wish I was a twin.
Yes.
What?
I thought that was weird too. I'm glad you brought that up, because I wrote that down too.
Is that a normal thing for anybody?
Yeah, but also, Nancy, most people aren't twins.
I wish I was a twin.
But your twin wouldn't be with you 100% of the time.
Maybe they would.
Solving mysteries together.
I don't know, but I thought it was an odd inner monologue. And then another car comes along.
Yes. And so it's a brother and sister.
Yes.
They're going to help her out, but they are neighbors to the Aborns.
Yes. They know the Aborns. They give Nancy the indication that the Aborns are wonderful people, which surprised her because of the shifty eyes and the unbecoming hair.
Yes.
There's really no other, well, the lady was rude in her estimation. But other than that, I don't know that there was anything that really seemed odd. Well, Mary Marie. But in any case, she learns a little bit about them because of this brother and sister. And the brother and sister are teenagers. But they did say they were surprised that the Aborns were around because they thought they were on like vacation or holiday.
Right.
Like they were gone. They thought they were gone. So they were surprised that they were home. But that was it.
Nancy does go home to help out
Hannah.
Yes. For the housekeeper.
Who has a sprained ankle.
And so, she starts cooking for Hannah. She describes her kitchen. Did you write this down?
I didn't write. I wrote down the lunch description, but not the kitchen. So you can talk about the kitchen.
The kitchen is described as modern. It's a modern pink and white kitchen.
That sounds right. Well, you have to, what was this? It would have been 1960. For lunch, she puts out milk, or 2 glasses of milk, bread and butter, which is so very, it reminds me of my grandparents. Whenever we would go over to their house for lunch or dinner, regardless of what the meal is, there's always a plate with a stack of bread slices and the butter dish or
margarine.
Margarine, yes, it's often margarine. Usually it was margarine next to it for whatever reason. Crisp salad of lettuce and tomatoes marinated with tangy French dressing.
Yes, I said that too.
I'm not sure I want my lettuce and tomatoes marinated. And then a chicken casserole that I believe somebody brought over when they heard.
Yeah, she just had to heat it up though.
Yes.
I think,
she just had to heat up the chicken casserole. This is actually the only food description that I
They do eat a lot, you're right. But
they do eat a lot, but this was the only description in this particular book. I'm kind of looking forward to all the food descriptions now. Because there's a lot of them.
What happens after that then?
I believe, she gets Hannah to bed and then she goes to bed, but and her father is gone. Some business trip.
So then I think he comes back.
Yes, because she's awakened in the middle of the night.
And she thinks it's a prowler, like a burglar, but Mr. Drew just broke into his own place because...
Right, he didn't want to disturb her.
Right.
And for some reason, Hannah sleeps through all of this.
Yes.
I don't know how that happened. Maybe she took something for her sprained ankle, which may be true because later on, she seems to have miraculously healed from this sprained ankle. She's up and at him very quickly.
So Mr. Drew is working on a case. Mm-hmm. And so it's an embezzlement case for a bank. Mm-hmm. And I thought, why would a lawyer be doing this?
You know what? That was one of my thoughts too. This feels more like some kind of investigator work, not lawyer. Like there really wasn't anything that said specifically what he was litigating. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It was just, I'm trying to figure out who took them. There were bonds.
Yes, bearer bonds.
Bearer bonds that were stolen from the Monroe National Bank.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, back in the day, there were bonds, and it was basically just, you didn't have to sign for them. Just whoever owned them was able to cash them out, mm-hmm. which is kind of how money works. But as you know, for large amounts. And you can't get these anymore, right?
I didn't look this up. I should have, but
AI told me that you can't get them anymore. So that must be true.
Must be true.
Mm-hmm. Because they were just like so abused.
So what he's trying to do, they discovered there were bonds missing, mm-hmm. and they know who were the owners of these particular bonds.
Yes.
There were 4 different people or couples. Mm-hmm. And so he thinks maybe they play a role somewhere in there.
Uh-huh. So what Mr. Drew does is like, as part of his investigation, he's going to say, hey, Nancy, you got to start investigating these people.
Yes.
Go to their houses and see if they are somehow involved.
Do they have shifty eyes? Do they look like they just came into some money? Mm-hmm. Yes. So his thought was...
Which I'm pretty sure is illegal.
Probably. Have your teenage daughter investigate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because his thought was it could have been them or maybe somebody that worked with the bank did mm-hmm. something, mm-hmm. but he wants to start with these 4 people mm-hmm. or 4 sets of people.
Right. Yeah, the next chapter is all about Nancy's investigation. So yeah, she completely forgets about Laura. She's like, hey.
My father comes first. Is that what she said?
She does say that. Yeah, she says my father comes first. Yes. The first person she investigates is his widow.
Yes.
And she says...
she's too upstanding. It couldn't be her.
Right. Well, she kind of weases her way into her house by saying, hey, I'm raising money for this youth center.
Yeah.
Which I don't think did she bring that up before or no?
No, it was just like, oh, by the way, she loves this youth center anyway. Uh-huh. There was no talk of this in the other 2 books.
Right.
So she thought, well, it's not a lie because I do love this youth center. So I'll go pretend like I'm collecting money for it. But then she actually collects money.
She actually does get money. So it's kind of, you're getting money off of false pretenses.
Yes. I guess you're supposed to infer that she's going to give that money to the youth center.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I want to back up and say there was a whole description about her picking out her outfit for this assignment. Yes. Uh-huh. Basically, you got the impression she was going to look as businesslike and like older as possible. So she puts on this like smart suit and, you know, probably some pumps and like that cracked me up that there was that whole description of that. Mostly because, like I said, in the original, there's never a mention of like,
Hannah
then
comments.
She gets this whole outfit on. Like nobody cares about the outfit.
Yeah, Hannah comments that she's like, oh, you look so good today.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, this widow wants to give her money. Nancy's like, no, you don't have to give money. Like, it was more like, hey, can you give time? Can you give any sort of talent to help this out? And this widow's like, no, I want to give money. And so she grabs her checkbook and
Nancy takes the money.
Yes. Over false pretenses.
Correct. Yes.
And then this is the best part of the book. So
Peter's favorite part.
Yeah. So she's the next person she has to go to is, do you remember his name?
I don't remember exactly where she was headed next, but she was headed to another one of the suspects.
Yes. So, but it's all the way like uptown. She's like, oh man, I'm going to have to hoof it.
So she starts walking in her pumps and her smart suit.
And so she is stopped by one of her schoolmates.
Don Brown. Okay.
So Don stops her on the street. Don is like, hey, I need a date. My sister's getting married. I need a date to a barbecue before the wedding.
Not the wedding.
Not the wedding.
Don't come to the wedding. Bring another girl to the wedding. No, he didn't say that.
But yeah, I need a date to the barbecue before the wedding, like the day before.
Like the rehearsal barbecue. Would you come with me?
Yes.
Also, I'll give you a ride.
Right. So very odd. So Nancy sees an opportunity because the father is the next person she's going to investigate.
Yes.
She's like, oh, perfect. I can be on this date and investigate.
Do a little investigating. Mm-hmm. And you find this out later. I feel like she doesn't care about the date. Mm-hmm. She cares about the investigating. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the way it felt to me, at least later. It was like, okay, I'll accept this as long as I can do a little sleuthing on the side.
Right.
And then he gives her a ride.
Mm-hmm. Back to her place.
Yes.
Because now she doesn't have to hoof it across town.
She doesn't. She's already got a place where she can do some investigating of Mr. Brown. Mm-hmm. Suspect number 2.
Yes. So I looked up kind of like dating in the 50s.
Okay.
To begin with. Because I thought this part is so weird. It seemed like for some people, like dating was a little bit more casual.
Yeah.
So like dating was this kind of like, hey, you would kind of get to know somebody. And then like, you know, you'd maybe like date around a little bit. And then like there was going steady, which is like, hey, I'm only seeing this one person.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of what's like, I think the modern equivalent is like, if you're on like a dating app, you might talk to 5 or 6 different people. And then you would like make a choice from there. Yeah. I think that's kind of what happened.
I mean, that's the impression that you get, especially because I think there was what was the last book? There was some dance or something.
Yes.
They were going to.
They went to a play put on by kids.
That's right. And she went with some guy. Yeah. I don't know who.
Because he never comes up again.
And it is really interesting because it's like, oh, here's this other guy. Here's this other guy. But like, you don't get the impression like she really cares about them. It's just like, oh, this is like a person I can go do this thing with. Although later, her special friend will show up in the next 5 months or so.
Oh, I know that. Okay.
Nancy's mysterious letter. We see Ned Nickerson. But
okay.
From there on, she's probably not going to dances with other guys. We'll find out. I don't know. I know, romance. That's the other thing. There's no romance in the original. We're just sleuthing. There's no time for boys.
Oh, so she heads back home.
Yes.
And she gets a phone call. There's like a struggle on the other side.
Yes.
The phone dies.
She thought the voice sounded familiar, but she doesn't know who it is. And then they're gone. And it's a little disturbing, but she moves on. Yeah. There's not really, you know, she does bring it up later, obviously. So
then she meets another suspect. It's Mrs. Stewart.
It's the lady with the dog.
The lady with the dogs, yes. So she's knocking on this place. There's like a maid, hands off these 2 dogs to her.
And closes
the door. Because she thinks that this is the dog walker.
Yes.
And then so she knocks again, and Mrs. Stewart comes to the door. And this is one of the possible embezzlement suspects. And so then she explains the situation and like, hey, I'm not the dog walker, blah, blah, blah. So Mrs. Stewart says, Mr. Stewart left for a fishing trip in Maine. I simply don't understand Gerald. He doesn't appreciate our home life here with the children. Her glance swept towards the poodles. Nancy managed to keep a straight face and say goodbye to Mrs. Stewart. And so she's laughing at this situation.
Yes.
Mrs. Stewart hardly seems the type to be a bank swindler.
Right. Not
so because she likes dogs.
She couldn't have done it. She's too busy with the dogs.
She has fur babies.
So, yeah, definitely.
And then she follows this up by saying, her poor husband, Nancy thought with a laugh. And I was like, well, Nancy, that's kind of judgy just because this lady likes her dogs. Like,
I mean, surprisingly, she's judging her on her appearance and her initial manner. Does she make it to, because there's another set of suspects.
Yes.
That she does not make contact with.
Yeah, I think she just gives up on suspects at this point.
Yeah.
Because then Laura comes back, I think.
Right. Well, because she does go, and I can't remember if it's right in here or somewhere else. She does go to a house where these other suspects are. It's a man and his wife. Mr. and Mrs. Dowd.
Yes.
They are there. They board at this house. The person's like, no, they're actors. They're gone. Yes. They're off doing a play.
But they wouldn't say what their roles are.
They didn't tell me their role.
And Nancy thought that was weird because actors always want to tell you what roles they're playing.
Apparently. I don't know. I've never been an actor. So I don't know. Maybe that's true.
Well, you're acting interested in this podcast, so there's that.
Maybe it's after this where she comes back home.
Yes, and then Laura's there.
Yeah, she opens the door and Laura is there and she's really distraught.
Because when she got into her new room, she heard the door click. So she got locked in basically. And her new foster family is insisting on like, hey, give us your family jewels that your mom gave to you. Yes. Because we want to put them in the house safe for safekeeping.
Right.
And you're ungrateful for not trusting us.
Basically, they're terrible.
So she escapes from the second floor down the terrace and just runs to Nancy's house. How does she know where Nancy lives?
I don't know. That was the part I thought was kind of odd. That she runs away.
Because she's clearly like not from this area.
She gets in a cab and then just goes to Nancy's house. And the only thing I could think was she probably got in the cab and was like, I need to find Nancy Drew. And they were like, of course, we know exactly who you're speaking of. She's the teenage detective. I'll take you right to her. But no, there is no explanation of how she knew how to find her.
Okay.
The other thing was back when the Aborns first met Nancy as they were leaving, she's like, I'll write to you. What's the address? And Mr. Aborn is like, everybody knows where my house is on Melrose Lake. I don't need to give that to you. That was suspicious, I would say.
Then I don't know if Nancy clocks that as a clue. Because she says like, hey, this is a clue. But she didn't clock that as a clue, I don't think.
No. Nancy isn't as observant as you would think.
Yes. She says, hey, you're going to hang out here and you can put your jewels in our family safe. Right. And so what she decides to do from here is like, I'm going to investigate this house. Oh, but wait, I have to go to this barbecue.
Right. I have to go to a barbecue. But then doesn't her father come along and say, we've cleared that guy? Like, he comes along and he's like, oh, by the way, Mr. Brown is fine.
Yes, because he's like a friend of the president of the bank, which I would be like, that would be suspect number one for me.
He's completely cleared. Surface level details are what you take at face value.
So now she's like, well, now I definitely don't have to go to this barbecue.
Exactly. Great. I don't need to go to the barbecue because there's no sleuthing involved. So who cares?
And so she says, hey, Laura, you're having a bad day. Why don't you go to this barbecue?
Yes. Well, at first she calls Don to tell him, hey, I can't go to the barbecue. And he's pretty disappointed. I think Don likes Nancy, but Nancy she doesn't care. She's like, I got a friend. Take my friend.
Yes.
He's like, okay, sure. And then she goes to Laura and says, you want to go to this barbecue? And for some reason, Laura is all about it. That floored me, the whole barbecue thing, because it was like, first she's going to go to a barbecue. Now she doesn't need to go to the barbecue. And then I thought, why was this even in the story? And I think there was a part at this point where she says, is it here that she says there's no time for romance?
Yes, I took a picture of that.
Romance and detective work won't mix tonight. There you go.
You can have it all, Nancy. You can do both.
No.
But I also love Laura's perspective of, hey, I've been through some trauma this whole week. I basically got kidnapped today. What I really need is some ribs to fix the situation.
With some strangers. Some ribs with some strangers.
The only person I know and trust is Nancy. And she's not even going to be there, but I'll go on this date with this random guy.
That's fine. It's okay.
And so she goes into the house and again, she goes up the way that Laura escaped.
Yeah, the Aborn house.
Yes,
Might or might not be a bungalow.
Right.
I don't know that it was ever described as a bungalow. This one might have been described as a house.
I'm not sure. I think just to kind of spy on the Aborns. And they're kind of being incriminating and being mean and saying exposition about how they're evil. Mr. Aborn is going to come into Laura's room to like look around and Nancy has to dart into a closet and hide. Because basically they're looking for these jewels.
Right.
They end up breaking into this safe. Nancy's like, this is it. I got some evidence now that these people are bad. I'm going to go to the police. Before she goes to the police, she goes to this shack. Yes. And the shack was brought up before.
Well, yeah. So Jacob Aborn kind of leads her there. Like he leaves the house with a bundle, by the way. He has a bundle with him of something. and she follows him. He leads her to this shack, but then he kind of disappears. Like she doesn't know what happened to him.
So she goes back to this shack. So we kind of forgot to bring that part up, but it's fine now. So she goes to this shack. Even though she has enough clues, she's like, well, I need slightly more clues.
Because there's like multiple times where she's at this shack. This is where it gets confusing. You're there, then you're at this hotel, then you're back at the shack. So I think first she's at the shack, she's looking in a window, and then all of a sudden Mr. Aborn reappears.
Yes.
And then they kind of trade.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, why are you here?
Right. And then I think he leaves. Like it was kind of, then they argue and then... They both leave.
Right.
Then she goes to a nearby hotel and gets a room. That's when she does some leisurely things. She has her bathing suit with her because she always has a go bag in the car with like a dress. They list off all the things that are always in her go bag, including a bathing suit, which wouldn't be at the top of my list for a go bag. But she like goes out to the beach. Sits there, and then two people see her.
Yes, so I want to talk about this part too. So after eating, Nancy put on her bathing suit and wandered down to the beach. A boy in attendance gave her a towel, and Nancy stretched out on the sand, unaware of the steadfast glance of a couple hidden behind a large green and white striped umbrella not far away. They nodded to each other. Then, when Nancy was not looking, they quickly left the beach. Guess we're safe, the woman muttered. She's here to stay and have a good time. So it was just some random couple. Right? So what is the scene about?
I don't know. I mean, I assumed it was the Aborns, but you'd think she would have seen them, but we've learned she's not as observant as we think she is.
That's fair.
Those were the only two people I could think of. Why would somebody be having, I guess she's here to stay and have a good time. I don't know. That was very odd. So she does that.
So then from there, she investigates the house. And I love this cliffhanger of, before she investigates the house, she knows that the Aborns have a detective. They're looking for Laura. Nancy has a thought of like, oh no, what if the detective knows where Laura is in the house? That's the cliffhanger. And then the following page, she calls the house and Hannah's like, no one's been here.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So then from there, she goes into the house, the Aborns' house. And closet, all that. I'm going to get a little bit more evidence. I'm going to go into that shack. And then, she goes downstairs, hears the moaning, goes downstairs. She thinks it's
Mr.
Aborn. And so she scurries back up because she's like, how did he get here so fast?
Right. And then she realizes it couldn't be him because I just saw him at the house.
Right. So she goes back down and she finds a man tied to this bench and quickly realizes it's the real Jacob Aborn.
Yes.
Unties him. He tells her the whole story. Basically, we're good guys. And
well, he had kind eyes, I think. So she knew he was.
Oh, okay. Good. He was attacked by Mr. Dowd.
Yes. Stumpy.
Yeah, Stumpy. His nickname is Stumpy.
Yes. Stephen Stumpy Dowd.
Mrs. Dowd was the maid to the Aborns.
Yes. The real Mrs. Aborn is in Florida. Taking care of her sick mother. Stumpy shows up at his house, knocks him out, and kidnaps him because he knew about being a guardian.
Yes.
And then also, they are the Mr. and Mrs. Dowd of the actors that don't explain their roles. So
it's all coming together, kind of.
Yes, it's all coming together. They also stole the bonds. This is where...
Well, they didn't steal the bonds.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is weird.
This is where it all gets... There's so much happening here. And because you had said at a certain point, they also called this shack...
Yes.
A bungalow.
Yes. So at this point, she calls the shack a bungalow, which made me... I had to text you. I was like, wait, is the bungalow the shack? I was really confused.
Well, and that's where what's interesting is in the original, I'm pretty sure the house of Mr. Aborn is a bungalow, but also there's another building that is a bungalow.
Right.
And they're both called the bungalow, a bungalow in the original. And I think they changed it in here
to make it
to be a shack instead of a bungalow.
So I think to try and differentiate the two places.
So confusing. So that's why I thought, well, maybe they missed something on their revision.
They must have, because
I don't know.
she calls the shack a bungalow at one time, and it was very confusing.
Yes. Well, anyway, while Mr. Aborn is giving her his whole story,
Mr. Dowd sneaks up on him.
Yes.
And
then knocks out Nancy.
Yeah, recaptures Mr. Aborn, knocks out Nancy. But this is one of the things that Drew can do.
Oh,
is while she's getting tied up, she knows like a certain way to position her arms.
Yes.
So she can get out of her.
She was paying very close attention when an associate of her father was explaining how to get free when you're tied up. So she positioned her arms just right.
Exactly.
I don't know how, but she did.
Yeah, so then she finally gets freed. They get out of the bungalow, and he's all kind of sore from, I think, just from being in this.
He probably has useless arms. But meanwhile, while she's trapped and like trying to figure this out, back at the ranch, back at the home, Laura and Don get back from the barbecue.
Yes. So it's a whole chapter, more or less.
Yes.
From their perspective.
Yes.
Which that hasn't happened before.
No, it hasn't. Not in the revised edition. In the originals, that happened a couple times already. But yes. So Laura, Don, Hannah, and Carson, they're all back at home, and they don't know where Nancy is. Hannah's like, oh, Nancy says she wanted to visit the shack again. And I thought, well, why didn't you say that to begin with? You're like, oh my gosh, where is she? Where is she? Oh, she's probably at that shack. And I wanted to note, at this point, I believe Mr. Drew mentions the police. He mentions Chief McGinnis, who has a recurring role. He is the police chief of River Heights that you'll see now, like throughout the series. Mr. Drew, Laura, and Don are going to drive to Lake Melrose to try to find Nancy. And then on the way, he tells Laura and Don about his case.
Right.
And the Dowds, which at this point, he knows they're bad. Yeah,
he knows that the Dowds are the embezzlers. He shows a picture of the Dowds to Laura, and Laura's like, oh, those are my guardians. They tied the two threads together. And this is halfway through the book.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, so I was taking notes. I kind of stopped at this point, but it really wasn't. There was still a lot.
There was still so much
left to go. Yeah. So they do this. They're speeding off towards the lake. Nancy gets loose.
Mr. Aborn is kind of limping along.
Yes.
And she's so nice that she's kind of like, she's not running ahead to catch up because she's worried that Mr. Dowd is going to run away.
Yes.
But she's just too nice to like leave this guy behind. She gets to her car and her car's been sabotaged by Mr. Dowd.
But she has taken a course in auto mechanics, so it's fine. She got out of the car, lifted the hood, and flashed her light inside. She had taken a course in automobile mechanics and knew the possible sources of trouble. So the course did not tell you how to fix it. It only told you how to spot it. I see what the trouble is, Nancy called. The distributor has been uncapped and the rotor's missing. This is sabotage.
There we go. Okay, yes.
But
so she can't fix it, but she knows what's wrong with it. Okay.
Exactly. I'm sure that Mr. Dowd is the saboteur. Well, of course he is. Who else is it?
But also, but she's like, oh, he did this to slow us down even more.
Yes.
But in which case, you shouldn't need this extra step.
So at this point, it all starts really happening fast.
Yeah, but also that there's so many less unnecessary parts in this from here on out because the mystery's basically solved.
Right.
So basically what's happening then is they all meet up and they meet up with the neighbors again, the brother and sister.
Yeah.
And they meet up with the barbecue boyfriend.
Don, yes. The barbecue boyfriend.
And there's a chase and they chase. Yeah. They're not sure if the Dowds are going to go one way or the other way, but they go to the bungalow. They go to the Twin Lakes.
Yes. The original bungalow from the beginning after the boat wreck. Because they had spotted him driving away from there. She suspected that they were the people that had been renting this house, correct? And sure enough, they were there.
Yes. And so I was a little confused, but basically what happened was they found out that the Dowds mentioned this guy named Fred. Fred worked for the bank, and he was the one that stole these bearer bonds, these securities. But he also overheard that, hey, this one lady is dying. Laura's going to need a guardian. I know these Dowds, these actors. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have them pose as guardians, and I'll even put in securities for them to kind of cover my tracks a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was very weird because, like, you don't need this extra step. You don't need...
So, like, Laura's mom owned some of the bonds.
Yes.
But then he put their name in for more bonds.
Yes.
Which made them suspects.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
It really made it more convoluted.
Well, and why didn't Mr. Drew know that Laura's mother owned some of the bonds? Were they the bonds that were stolen? Yeah.
Oh, no. This specifically says that Laura's bonds weren't stolen. That was a detail to kind of make this try to make more sense, but it really doesn't.
Right.
So this guy didn't steal Laura's mom's bonds, but stole the other bonds and knows that Laura's mom's going to die, going to need a guardian. So I'm going to hire these actors to pretend to be the guardian so I can just get the jewels.
Right.
And the rest and the other securities and all that. So it's making the plan more convoluted.
Right.
For no reason. All the bad guys flee the bungalow and they're going on the road, the bad road. They're chasing after the Dowds. And the book says, it was 3 a.m. Exclamation point at the end.
That's right. They do make some comment about how late it is. It's the middle of the night or whatever.
But I love that the book is just... Can you believe it?
There was no... Oh, yes. Here it is. Yeah. As Nancy got out the right-hand side of the car after dawn, she glanced at the luminous dial on the clock. It was 3 o'clock in the morning.
I just love how the book is... Can you believe it? Can you believe how late it is?
They've been up all night chasing these crooks.
And so the bad guys go off a cliff. Basically, all the bad guys are thrown from their car. Everyone's fine. But the suitcases are under the car, and there's gases leaking, and this is actually a really cool scene. It makes no sense, but it was a cool scene. The gang gets all the bad guys away from the car because it's about to blow. But Nancy is like, hey, I gotta save this luggage.
Right.
Because it's
probably jewels in all the bonds.
Yes. And so she gets one suitcase out pretty easily. The second suitcase takes a little bit longer. She's able to wrench it out. And then Don is like, Nancy, you're the coolest girl I ever know. But then he also yells at her, why did you do that? It's not worth your life. And as soon as he says that, the car blows up.
Nancy, she's going to do what she's got to do.
I know. It felt weird that Don has to say, hey, I like you. I like the cut of your jib, but also I'm going to scold you as a man. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like these books or these revised editions try to make Nancy a little more refined. And maybe this was hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Yes. You're a lady, kind of thing. I don't know. That's possible.
Right. So then the police come right away. They open up the suitcase and there's just nothing but underwear in there. And Nancy's freaking out a little bit, but then she sees that there's false bottoms to the suitcases and all the securities are in there. Yeah. They caught him red-handed. Mr. Dowd's a little grumpy, but Mrs. Dowd is like, thank you so much for capturing us, basically, is what she says. He's like, I've really learned my lesson, Nancy. And Nancy has tears in her eyes.
It's interesting, too, where you talked about how they have all these unnecessary details. They added, they captured a fourth person, another bank employee.
And it makes it complicated for no reason.
Yeah. Her brother was employed in the vault department. What? Why? I don't know. It felt like at the end we were just trying to throw in as much as we could.
Right. So they all go back to Nancy's house, and Laura finally meets the real Mr. Aborn. And
she loves him immediately.
Exactly, yeah. And so match made in heaven. And then so she checks in on Mr. Aborn later, and he's so much better, and he's typing up a story. He's going to give it to a magazine about Nancy Drew and how great she is, basically.
Exactly. She got another memento.
Yes.
To take with her.
Yes. So she got a ring, this aquamarine ring that Laura's mother gave to her. All the jewels are very nondescript except for this one. They focus a lot on this particular jewel when they talk about the jewels, because this is going to be Nancy's memento. Because she specifically mentions hey, I have this clock, I have this urn for my second mystery.
It's funny because I don't remember when I was a kid reading these I don't remember her getting mementos, and I don't know if it's just that I don't remember it, or I'm curious to know if that's going to keep going. That she'll get a memento every book, because I don't remember that at all.
Because at some point you're going to run out of room.
You would think so. You're going to have a memento room. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We'll see if she gets more as we keep going, or if they abandon that or not.
And so yeah, Nancy loves the ring, and they're the best of friends.
And she's getting ready for her next mystery already.
Yes.
Oh, it's next week. Did you see that? In less than a week, Nancy was facing up to the challenge of the mystery at Lilac Inn. Dun, dun, dun. Number 4. Yeah, I thought this was more confusing than the last 2. Mostly because of the constant back and forth to various hotels and bungalows and other lakes. They all had a different name, and then the mystery itself got a little convoluted with
and the mystery solved halfway through.
Yes, but let's think about the other books,
But I mean, Nancy solved it halfway through.
Right.
As opposed to us, we figured it out,
Well, sure.
All of them, before then, but.
Yeah.
So it seems not well paced.
Yeah.
So this seems like the bottom so far. Because I didn't know, because obviously I'm reading the series for the first time.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
what,
true.
the average is, the threshold is. This seems kind of like the bottom for me.
Okay. All right.
Because I enjoyed Hidden Staircase, at least. I didn't think it was good, but I thought it was interesting and
yes,
at least fun to talk about.
Yes.
This one, I talked to my wife about this one to begin with. I was like, I don't know what we're going to talk about, because it's a little all over the place. And
yeah. Well, let me give you a little overview of the original.
Oh, really quick though. Don, at the end, Don says, "Hey, I guess we got to keep our date after all." Because we chased down these weirdos.
Don, he really wanted a date with Nancy Drew, but it's not happening, Don. And I don't know. Will Don show up again? Probably not. Probably not.
So really quick, do you have some differences?
Yes. So it does start the same with, they're out on a lake and they are rescued by Laura. They do not go to a bungalow. They don't.
Oh.
No, they go.
So wait, but is it called the Bungalow Mystery?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they go back to her hotel and they meet her new guardian. There is no Mrs. Aborn.
Okay.
There's only Jacob Aborn.
Okay.
Who has shrewd eyes. He's short, pudgy, poor disposition, and his eyes have a hard, cruel glint.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that makes it slightly less complicated just to have one guardian.
There's just one. Yes. And he's taking her to a different lake. And he has a bungalow there.
Oh, okay. So he's not.
Yeah. Okay. Where he lives is a bungalow. The same thing with the detour in the storm, but she doesn't. There's no teenagers that come along to help her.
Okay.
And I can't remember how she gets out of the fallen log situation, but all of a sudden Laura runs out of the woods. She ran away from her guardian.
Sure. What she does.
Yes. So she comes out of the woods as Nancy is trying to get around this fallen log. But her complaints about him kind of made me laugh. He's mean. He doesn't have any servants. She has to do the cleaning. All right.
Which, I mean, that's a guess that's a good point, but
the
still.
Bungalow only has 9 rooms. Okay. It's really small.
That's a house.
And there's no spending money for clothes. Okay. Awful. He does also still leave each night with a bundle. So she ends up, it's the same kind of thing. She goes back.
Are there any barbecues?
There's no barbecue. Don is not in this book at all. There's no barbecues. But
is there the embezzlement?
Nope.
Okay.
There's no embezzlement. I can't see. This is where I got confused. She either finds his bungalow or she finds a different bungalow. Okay. But she's confronted by him. So that's why I'm thinking it was a different bungalow at this point. And then she kind of creeps on him inside the house. And he calls himself Stumpy. It's a clue. Okay.
Why would you do that?
It's very odd. Well, I mean, and I maybe leaving a few key details out, but she does still find a man chained in the cellar of the bungalow. I believe this is bungalow number 2. Obviously, it's Mr. Aborn, not Stumpy.
So is the bungalow Mr. Aborn's actual house? The real Mr. Aborn?
No, I think it's the shack.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, yes, he was impersonating. He's just a known criminal. Stumpy is a known criminal. He was impersonating Mr. Aborn to get Laura's fortune. He, knocks Nancy out. But basically, she gets free the same way she did before. And her father and Laura come to kind of rescue her. But in this book,
and there's no Helen again, right?
There's no. Helen kind of exits pretty early on. But Helen's not getting married in this book. So I don't know. I can't remember why she exits pretty early. When Mr. Drew is like, we're going to go rescue Nancy, he's like, let me get my gun. So then they end up chasing down Stumpy, and then Mr. Drew and Stumpy kind of have like a shootout. Like they trade bullets here. Boy. I don't remember exactly how it ends. They obviously do rescue the day. She meets her new guardian. He's wonderful. So the overarching premise is the same. It's a lot simpler, though. They made it simpler. They added, way more about the, the bonds and the barbecue and all of that stuff was added into the revised, which is interesting because the original is longer than the revised. So I think that's kind of interesting. Obviously, I understand a shootout is not appropriate for a children's book, so they took that out. It's interesting to see the differences. Again, I think they changed the way Nancy is. You said that, yeah. I think she's far more spunky in the originals, which I love. So, but I was also going to share one other thing with you. Sure. So I own the Nancy Drew cookbook. Yes. From the 70s, you said? Clues to Good Cooking. Published in 1973. Now, none of these recipes necessarily go with any of the books, but they do have recipe names that go with the books. So I looked up the Bungalow Mystery Salad. Oh, okay. So for your salad, you're going to need 2 6 3/4 ounce cans of frozen orange juice, 2 lemons, 1 6 ounce can pineapple juice. Getting very citrusy. 2 yellow or red bananas. I've never seen a red banana. I don't know what that looks like. 1 cup of ginger ale, 1 cup of sugar. Really quick, this is for a salad. Yes, it's a salad. Okay. A lot of sugar. It's a 70s salad. 1 cup of sugar, 24 paper muffin cups. Okay, so you're going to squeeze the lemons. Wait, no. Stop. Again, this is a salad. Yes. Are we making a muffin salad? What's happening here? Well, we'll get there. Okay. You're going to squeeze the lemons and put the juice through a strainer. Thaw the frozen orange juice in a bowl. Add the strained lemon juice and the pineapple juice. Mash the bananas and add them to the mixture. Pour in the ginger ale and sugar. Stir well. And what was it? Bungalow salad? What was it called? Bungalow Mystery Salad. Okay. She does make a salad. She does, but her salad was marinated in French dressing. This is different. Put paper muffin cups in the muffin pans. Ladle the mixture into the cups. Place the salads into the freezer and leave until frozen. What is happening? And for an extra touch for topping, stir some crushed pineapple and chopped dates into whipped cream cheese. You will get protein from the cheese and dates and vitamin C from the pineapple. So it's more like a fluff salad. It's like a frozen treat. Yes. So salad. It's like different places call it different things, like an ambrosia salad. Right. Or like my grandma used to call it fluff. Yeah. That's basically what this is. Yes. It's not a salad. No. I would say that if we go through this book, there's probably other salads that don't meet the current definition of a salad. It's a salad like a pasta salad is a salad. Sure. Anyway, that's the Bungalow Mystery Salad. I love it. Yeah. We should, maybe at some point we'll make some of the stuff. I was going to say, we probably should. I thought of this yesterday. I thought at some point, we should make something. There is a lovely one that I came across also called Casserole Treasure, which has string beans, cream of mushroom soup, slivered almonds, Worcestershire sauce. And then you top it off with a half a pound of sharp cheese. Any kind of casserole is topped with sharp cheese.
I know, just my mom used to that was her secret ingredient for basically anything was cream of mushroom soup.
Yeah.
Which,
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yes, I think that's the hallmark of a 70s cookbook.
Well, that was fun.
Anyway.
I look forward to that more than the
mystery at Lilac Inn.
Because that is the real mystery of what is this? What is this even going to taste like?
I know.
Thanks for tuning in today. Our next book, when we get around to it, will be The Mystery at Lilac Inn, number 4. Yes. Have you started that one yet or no?
No, I have not.
You said your niece started it though?
I don't know if she has.
Or she picked it up?
No, they went to a used bookstore recently. And she picked up The Mystery of the Tolling Bell.
Oh, that's what you said.
That's a little further on.
And you also said that your niece dressed up.
She did. She dressed up as Nancy Drew for Halloween.
Yeah.
And she had a little dress on.
Very cute.
Her magnifying glass, of course. And then she was wearing lipstick. And she told my sister that she couldn't stop smiling because she was so excited to be wearing the lipstick.
Okay.
So cute.
That's cute.
So, yes. I've got a new budding Nancy Drew fan.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, sorry for knocking these down a peg then.
No, that's okay. I mean, I was probably her age or a little older when I started reading these. And I don't know. There was just something about them that I really, really loved.
Sure. I mean,
and I'm sure it's just that some of it is the simplicity of the stories, I think, as a kid. And this teenager that can do anything. So,
right. I mean, these books are just so old now that they just don't age the best. So that's kind of what we're making fun of.
Yes.
But it's still there's still things to get out of these, obviously.
Yes.
We're kind of just making fun of the things that are weird or odd. But I'm still glad that people are reading them and getting enjoyment out of them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Well, until our next case, I'm Peter, I'm a librarian.
I'm Kelly, I'm a librarian.
And this has been the Drew Crew. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.